When weak people snap, history shakes in ways no one expects, and what happened in ancient Britain proves this in the most shocking way. She was a queen, but not the kind you imagine, because she had no giant armies, no great wealth, only rage that grew like fire. Her name was Boudica, leader of the Iceni tribe, living under Roman rule in Britain around the year 60, and her story still feels alive today. But the truth behind why she snapped will shock you, because it started with something so cruel the Romans tried hiding it. You'll soon learn how a peaceful tribe turned into a storm, how one mother's pain became an army, and how the empire felt fear. These 3 revelations will change how you see courage and revenge forever, so stay with me. Let me show you exactly how this happened, step by step. The Roman Empire was at its peak, stretching across continents, swallowing new lands, and demanding total obedience from every tribe. To most Romans, Britain was cold and wild, a place of strange warriors and thick forests hiding people they didn't fully understand. The Iceni tribe lived there, simple farmers and defenders of their land, loyal to traditions and deeply protective of their families. Boudica became queen after her husband, King Prasutagus, ruled under a deal with Rome that was supposed to keep peace. But here's the twist. The peace deal was built on lies, and Rome reportedly never planned to respect it after the king died. When he passed away, instead of honoring his will, Roman officials swept into the tribe demanding total control. What they did next shocked even other Romans, according to ancient writers. Sources say Boudica was beaten in public, her daughters were assaulted, and the tribe was robbed of its land and freedom. This moment became the spark that turned quiet anger into unstoppable fire, and it mattered because it showed how cruelty creates its own downfall. People across the region watched this and whispered that Rome had gone too far, though none dared speak aloud. But now here's where things get really interesting. Boudica didn't break. She rose. She gathered her tribe, then reached out to neighboring tribes who had suffered similar treatment, many of whom waited years for a chance like this. Reports suggest thousands joined her, ordinary farmers turning into warriors fueled by rage, loyalty, and a desperate need for justice. Imagine villagers leaving fields behind, grabbing spears, and marching together because they believed this queen could change everything. Her first target was Camulodunum, the Roman capital in Britain, a symbol of everything stolen from her people. The attack was fast and brutal, a storm of fire and fury that shocked Rome more than any rebellion before. Roman survivors reportedly described smoke so thick it turned day into night, and screams that echoed across hills. But the most surprising part is the speed Boudica's growing army moved like lightning, striking fear everywhere. And if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear what happened next. London, then called Londinium, was young but important, full of trade and Roman pride, a symbol of power. As Boudica's forces approached, Roman leaders panicked and abandoned it, leaving civilians to flee or hide. She entered with thousands behind her, and flames followed, destroying markets, homes, and Roman symbols that once seemed untouchable. People who once felt powerless now felt unstoppable, and the empire finally realized they faced something far bigger than a local uprising. According to Roman accounts, nearly every Roman settlement on her path fell within days, not weeks, surprising commanders who underestimated her. This contrast between a giant empire and a wounded queen became the turning point. Roman generals called for reinforcements, sending desperate messages across the empire asking for help. Experts say this rebellion nearly forced Rome to abandon Britain entirely, a fact many modern viewers never hear about in school. And the biggest twist was still coming. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. The final battle wasn't in a grand city, but reportedly in a narrow valley where Roman strategy became their only hope. Boudica's army was huge but less trained, while Romans used tight formations, shields, and discipline to trap and crush the rebellion. The fight was brutal, with dust filling the air and echoes of metal crashing everywhere, changing the fate of Britain in hours. When defeat became clear, sources suggest Boudica refused capture, choosing death over humiliation, though details remain debated. What's certain is her rebellion scared Rome so deeply they changed how they ruled Britain afterward. They softened harsh taxes, slowed punishments, and built better protections to avoid another uprising like hers. Her story shows how one woman, pushed too far, shook one of the strongest empires in world history. So what does all this mean for us today? It means the powerless aren't as weak as history sometimes portrays. It means small actions of cruelty can create massive waves, sometimes bigger than armies or nations expect. It means leadership can come from pain, and justice can rise from places others ignore. It also means that even the strongest systems crumble when they forget the humanity of those they rule. For modern viewers, this story is a reminder that people still fight for fairness, dignity, and freedom, and sometimes one voice sparks thousands. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. Boudica's story almost vanished. Much of what we know comes from Roman writers who feared her power yet couldn't ignore her impact. Some say her body was never found, adding mystery to her ending, and legends claim she still rests beneath a London river or road. But the real twist is this: her legacy didn't fade. Her name became a symbol of resistance, courage, and the moment the weak finally snapped and made history impossible to forget. If this opened your eyes, her story has done its job. History is full of moments like this, where pain sparks courage and courage changes nations. Remember these lessons. Strength grows in silence, cruelty creates consequences, and even empires can fall to a single spark. If you want more stories like this, powerful, real, and eye-opening, you're in the right place. Like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me this: whose revenge story should I uncover next?